All right, welcome back to the Good Morning Show, 8:42 right now. Right now, windy weather is spreading the fire on Pilot Mountain quickly. This morning, the NC Forest Service is on scene throughout the night. They kept the flames by State Park Road. We have NC Forest Ranger Jimmy Holt on the phone with us here. Jimmy, thank you for being with us this morning and doing this. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Talk to us about what has unfolded overnight since we last spoke with you guys.
The fire came in. Personnel were engaged around 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon on the fire. We did not, get a acreage until sometime late in the evening. We were thinking around 60 acres. That's hard to get an accurate feel of that. At nighttime, crews were up. We had about 10 personnel engaged on the fire throughout the night last night. Surry County fire crews and personnel Surry County Fire was providing structure protection on infrastructure inside of the park last night. It's very dangerous being up there in that kind of terrain and those conditions at night. We did pull the firefighters late in the evening off of the mountain. We have crews here right now. There are also inbound crews as well. We're thinking probably around 30 people, a combination of North Carolina Forest Service personnel and North Carolina Parks crews as well. And then we also have aviation inbound this morning. We should have a scout plane here and a helicopter around 10 a.m. this morning.
Jimmy, this is meteorologist Christian Morgan alongside with Marissa this morning. My question to you is, although, as we look at the weather conditions, we know that makes it difficult for firefighting. Obviously, the winds aren't really too much of an issue right now, but as we plan for the wind to kind of kick up overnight as that cold front comes through, what are you guys planning ahead of, because obviously this is going to continue on into the day and into the overnight hours. What are you guys planning for in the overnight hours going into early tomorrow morning?
Well, unfortunately, the weather is not in our favor right now. That's for sure. No rain in the forecast, and more dry, windy, low humidity conditions will persist. What we do have in our favor is the fact that North Carolina Park System has been using prescribed fire on Pilot Mountain for quite a few years now, going all the way back to the last wildfire we had back in 2012. So a lot of the unnatural fuel loading has been reduced in recent years, which will make suppression and mop up a lot easier.
Jimmy, at last check, there were no injuries, no damages to any homes. When you think about Pilot Mountain, that's obviously a state park area. What's the status right now? How are crews doing? These are obviously tough conditions to be in, and have any homes or people been hurt?
No injuries at this time, nothing damaged. There is park infrastructure on the mountain, that could be threatened. A lot of the structural firefighters in this area and the volunteers were taking action around the infrastructure last night to secure those buildings.
And as far as a cause, obviously you're concerned with putting out the fire at this time. Has there been any indication as to how this could have started yet?
No indication at this time. And then once we get the forward progression of the fire under control, we'll have, our law enforcement officers, will be investigating the cause. I believe the area, from what I was told, was around I think it was Gridlock Trail. Mm-hmm. Grindstone Trail was the initial area where the fire was discovered, and I believe that they will call the fire the Grindstone Fire on Pilot Mountain.
Okay. Hey, Jimmy, one more question from me. This is Christian again. I know you mentioned that they are going to fly those planes and they're going to try to dump some water on those fires earlier today or at some point today. When is that going to start? And do you expect that to continue on into tomorrow and for the next couple of days as well, just kind of continuous?
Yeah, through the daytime operational period, that'll continue. We'll have the scout plane in the air most of the day, and then the helicopter will be working on, on the hot spots and the head fire as well.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to keep us updated this morning. Make sure the crews out there stay safe, and we again thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Christian, we wanted to go briefly to your weather cam
Sure.
first to talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, just passing along this picture from Doug Rice. He took this early this morning. This was around 2 o'clock, and it's actually really an eerie photo here. You can actually see the moon kind of in the top of this picture, and then those fires, of course, burning on Pilot Mountain down to the south. And one thing I thought that was interesting that Jimmy mentioned, was that this isn't the first fire in a short amount of time that we've seen on Pilot Mountain. That goes back all the way to 2012, where he mentioned that. And that, of course, burned a lot of the mountain. Also, he mentioned the fact that actually may end up helping fire suppression and may actually end up helping to control this fire, because some of that, what would have already started the fire and would have continued it burning has been burned away and kind of cut down now because of those earlier fires.
And we've talked about it this morning, throughout the morning. We just saw a few weeks ago this fire on Saratown Mountain. Similar situation. That fire wasn't as big as this one has grown to,
Right.
but it speaks to just what can happen when these conditions are like this: dry weather,
Yeah.
low humidity, and so certainly we're keeping all of the crews in our thoughts and prayers.
And the one thing that actually helped the Saratown Mountain fires was that we actually, pretty soon after they got going, a day or two, we had a nice little batch of rain that moved through that morning with a front. This time, we've got one front coming through tonight, and there's no rain with it. So this is really all going to be a lot dependent on how quickly they can control it, how much water they can get in with those scout planes, and how quickly they can deluge those hot spots like Jimmy was talking about, because there's really nothing, unfortunately, in the forecast that lends itself to helping this situation. This is really, really a bad thing.
Right, and a lot of people, many people in the Triad have gone to Pilot
yeah.
Mountain, have seen the beautiful state park that it is. So just taking a look at these images is incredibly heartbreaking.
Yeah, everybody knows it. Everybody knows where Pilot Mountain is. You can see it if you drive for miles and miles and miles. People go hike there all the time. It's just a well-known common spot for Triad folks and people who don't even live here. They know about Pilot Mountain, and they travel from long ways away to come check it out and visit and hike. And so this is something pretty bad to see.
Yeah, we have continuing coverage online and on our WFMY News 2 app. We are going to have a crew heading to that scene shortly, and we'll of course keep you updated as we learn more.